right, welcome back to I've Heard That. I'm so excited. We're in our 4th season. So this season I'm really pumped because we have awesome guests. So obviously Chantel is here.
Hey.
Welcome, Chantel.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. And we have Abby back. So Abby, remind me, what do you do here?
So I am the Director of Business Development and Account Management. So I get to have fun and kind of coach along the sales team and the account management team, which Chantel, you know from working with us, the account managers are near and dear to my heart. So
The best. You've done an amazing job here.
Thank you.
Awesome. And Chantel, share, what do you do at Centris?
Yeah, I am the Vice President of Marketing. I have been there just a little over a year, which is crazy how fast a year.
It's flown by.
Yeah, it has. And you know, it's a whole new game from where I came from before. I was in the travel space for over 20 years and now going to financials as a marketer. It's been interesting, but it's exciting and
a little
it's
different.
Yeah,
for you.
a little bit. Yeah, but it's been great and it's fun. We have a great team and excited to kind of talk about all the things today.
Amazing. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about digital marketing wins. And I think it's great to have both of you on here because we can definitely break it down. As you mentioned, travel industry is so different than banking and financial and at Centris as a credit union even. And Abby, you've worked with so many small and medium-sized businesses that is like a wide range as well. So tell me a little bit about Chantel. How do you, what goes into your marketing planning and where do you start?
Yeah, you know, as I said, you know, I've only been here a year and I had the ability to come in and really kind of have a blank canvas. We were really wanted to kind of look at everything. The demographics of a credit union is very unique, right? You have those members, we call it our customers, our members. Mm-hmm. Those members that have been here a really long time. They are loyal. They've been, you know, through the years and really this is our primary financial institution.
Definitely.
Then you have those young adults that are coming up and loyalty sometimes is hard or, you know, it's not necessarily there yet. And how do we kind of work on both sides of the fence to make sure that we're getting information into both audiences' hands? So when I started, I knew that I really just wanted to try to find a good balance of marketing tactics that would work for both. And for me, digital was number one because that's where it's at. It really is. It's the world we live in, and whether we like it or not, that's where it's going to continue to grow. So really trying to plan that marketing strategy was where should we go? What should we try? You know, let's throw something against the wall and see if it sticks, which is scary sometimes. I can say Abby was our account manager at the time, and it was just kind of first getting to know that relationship and work through it. But what's out there? I think, Abby, you did a really good job just educating us. Like, we had no idea what was out there.
So much. And like you said, you know, travel versus Federal Credit Union, a little bit different there. Yeah. So I loved that you guys were so open to hearing the ideas though, right?
Yeah.
Like taking all of these different things into consideration and figuring out, hey, okay, what's going to work best? And then just like we love to do here, utilizing the data to figure out how we change it and we keep evolving with it. It's always changing. It's ever growing.
Absolutely.
It's like a living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
And I think as you mentioned too, because it is always changing, it's sometimes not a matter of like, should we do this or should we not? It's more of what do we do first or where do we start?
Yes,
so when you took a look at what was already in place and where we needed to go, what got culled first and then what got prioritized?
Right. I think we had to take a good look at our website. Our website has, you know, a website can change and evolve, and we didn't have our hands on the website as much. We were having a lot of making updates. You know, Hurrdat was helping us with that perspective, but you know, what could we do to really allow us to have some efficiencies in that and make changes on the fly, which your team just was amazing in helping us talk us through that. So looking at our website first, what do we need to change on that so that it was a better experience for our members, that when they went into it, it was easy to find information. It was easy to get the information that they needed at the right time. Really looking at that, and then looking at our social media. again, social media was handled outside of our department. We only have a department of 3 right now. At one point, we had a department of 1. So, it was really looking at social media and saying, okay, what type of content do we need to put out there? What's going to be valuable? What will get people back to the website? And not putting too much noise out there.
I remember those conversations with you early on. That was such a huge piece that, the noise. You want to catch someone's attention, but without just being the inflatable flailing arm guy in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
You want to put it out there. You feel like, oh, they're going to love this, and then you start seeing it pop up on your own social media going, oh my goodness, I am putting way too much out there, or is this relevant? Do they care? Is it going to actually make a difference to them? So that was really important to us. At the end of the day, we want to make a good experience for that member. We want to educate. The content that we're putting out now is more focused on our members' experience. It's focused on the actual employees, and we're finding that people really enjoy, connecting that way with us. So it's been an evolution for sure, and it will continue to be.
Definitely. And when you think about that too, like your members' customer life cycle or journey is probably pretty long, right? So
Absolutely.
It's not just a one-time transaction. Right. It's building and building and building that relationship, both through your digital channel until they become a member. And then once they become a member, like keeping them a member and keeping them educated and satisfied. And as you roll out new things or new offerings and are able to support them in different ways.
Absolutely. You saying that member journey is truly what it is. You might come in and realize that your car loan is with Centris and you didn't even realize it was. From that perspective, there's so many more options and products and services that we can provide. It's really just continuing them on that journey, as you said, and touching them with different marketing tactics that will, engage them and allow them to realize, wow, this really is a different experience than I've had maybe with a bigger bank.
Yeah, definitely. We like our podcast to hopefully be useful and actionable. So what are some of those pieces or tactics that you've integrated into your marketing plan?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest ones was starting our own podcast.
Yeah.
That was not something we were expecting at all. I
couldn't resist. You knew you loved the idea.
Yeah, yes. A huge shout out to my partner in crime, Liz. She's on our team, and we just started talking. We are both moms, we are marketers, and we had no idea about the financial industry besides, paying our bills and doing the things that we are normally doing at a bank. And so we really wanted just to educate people and just say, it's okay to ask these questions that you may think you should know, but maybe you don't. It's hard to ask. Financials are emotional, and you need, there's safety and security and you want to be prepared for whatever is coming your way. So the podcast was a big piece for us, for sure. Creating more content, looking at our blog, everybody's like, oh, content's king. It's so true. I mean, but it's the right content. It's that, presenting at the right time, and it's not getting in the weeds. Financial can be hard and heavy. And we're really trying to stay out of the weeds and really just talk from that personal perspective. We want people to come into a branch location and feel like they can ask any question. We want them to feel the same on social media, seeing that on social media, working on our website, seeing our website. So we were just trying to focus more on those different tactics while having that emotional connection. And I think getting more into video. So we're working on a brand video, so excited for that. We had an intern this summer, and she was able to join our team, which we are so excited about. So Megan is amazing, and she's in her senior year at UNO, and she is just taking social a different direction and really incorporating video. You don't have to have a studio or, all the things. She's just getting in front of people and being really comfortable with them and talking and getting their stories. So that really then drives our brand. You know, that's who we are. When you come into a branch, you're going to get what you see on our videos as well.
Yeah, I think that feels really authentic. And that's a really great point, that you can do brand videos that have a whole video crew and a film production. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you can use your iPhone and shoot something that's really authentic, that's got your real team, your real locations. And that's a great snippet for social.
Absolutely.
So there's a use case for any and all of these different pieces. It's just where you use them.
Yeah. And we're seeing it. I mean, we're seeing that pick up on social. I mean, it really does work. You know, I think people saying, I saw that video, you know, that's a game changer. When I started here, a lot of my friends were like, what is a credit union? And now they're seeing the videos and things. They're like, you have a really fun job. Like it's really fun there. And that is really what's happening. It's not staged. It is what it is.
Yeah. I will say there was the one video, gosh, I can't remember who it was, but somebody, the president or somebody, was being chased around by the guy in the T-Rex blow-up costume. I feel like I need more of those videos.
One of the best days. That was a good day for us, for sure.
I loved that one. So,
but that's a great point too, that the algorithm really right now is preferring video content over image content. And especially once somebody's engaging with it, like you watching that is going to give it more fuel to be shown to more audience and give it a bigger reach. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. And I want to kind of go back, though, all of these pieces that you've kind of said, all of these tactics that we're taking into play, all of them really are focusing on the relationship, right? It's that relatability. How do you get people to understand what a federal credit union is? Who are you? Why should they choose you over someone else? It's all about that relationship there, which really, I mean, would you agree, Max? We've seen so much of a shift in this, even I feel like in the last couple of years, where it's really relationship based.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just noise. And we know in marketing that doesn't work. It's very transactional. We know customers want to relate to a brand. And so if you can make your brand feel personable and authentic, they are already building that relationship with you. So when they walk in your door and are ready to do business, you have some like trust and foundation built.
Absolutely. I come from, again, the travel industry, but it was a global company. When you are working with a very local company and an organization that is, you know, the roots are in the community, that relationship building is even more important. You know, it's just that feeling that I have a place to go. I have a trusted place I can go. And if we can do that through our marketing and continue to do that, then that's a win for us. And that's a win for our members and our future members.
Yeah. And as a local business, you mentioned too, like being involved in the community and connecting with your, with your community is major as well. So can you share a little bit about what you've done in the community?
Yeah. You know, our community vice president, Dawn, she is amazing. She is out and about. And, you know, for us, it's about being where people just want to help and provide others with kindness and support. We focus a lot on financial education. You know, that's one of the things where, you know, it kind of gets left behind sometimes. And I see it in my kids. You know, I have an almost 20-year-old and a 15-year-old, and I look at them sometimes going, you have no idea how to manage money. And it's frightening. So from a community standpoint, we want to get out in those schools more. We have something called Mad City Money, where the kids come in and they're acting like they're a lawyer, you know, they have 3 kids and they have to budget. And so that's so important, you know, to kind of act out that scenario. At the same time in the community, we want to make sure that we're helping those organizations that just, you know, support the people that need the help, you know. And so we're out at different humane societies or food banks and just helping from that perspective, always looking for new ways to be in that community. And I think that's one of the things when I started here, I knew that Centris was really part of the community, and that's really important to me. It's so important to so many people that work with us, and it's giving back. It's, you know, we say as a credit union, it's people helping people, and that truly is the credit union way. And so when you do that, when you have a place that you work, you want to continue to support that in your community any way you can.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously there's benefits to supporting your community, as you mentioned, to educate, to inspire. But I think, again, back to digital marketing wins, like that's a really easy win. That's something you're doing that's authentic to your brand, and using your digital tactics like your website, like social, like paid, to breathe that into the digital, so that it feels like the same experience online as it does like in real life and in the real world, what you're doing in the community. It's understood online, and you can see that and feel that from Centris's digital presence.
Yes, absolutely.
And you do a wonderful job of always carrying that brand presence everywhere too.
Very good. I'm
Purple
glad.
everywhere.
I'm glad.
I love it.
Yes, that purple does stand out for sure. Very helpful for our brand.
I mentioned paid. How do you integrate with paid? Are there any digital wins on the paid side? Because I know it's very competitive, pay to play. How do you work that in, or where does that fall?
I think the biggest thing there is partnering with Hurrdat. I mean, honestly, you have helped us so much in just understanding it. It's a lot to take in and to know what direction to go. I think every meeting that we have, I find out something new and a new tactic to try. We're getting very focused on what type of videos we want to put out there. When we have specific campaigns, we want to make sure that we're using those dollars in the appropriate way. I think the best thing about digital that people should understand is the ability to flex that budget and move it and pivot, as we say so many times. But it's true. And that, I think, coming from an organization where before at Centris, it was a lot of traditional marketing and kind of explaining how digital really gets us the data and how we can transition our dollars to meet the right people at the right time. It's incredible, and we'll continue to see more success along the way. I think that we're seeing more upticks on our website. We're seeing people engaging more, sharing our information. That wasn't happening before. It was just kind of one of those nice to have, and this is really what we're doing every single day.
Yeah, it's moving the needle. It's getting people
Absolutely.
to act and take that action that you really want them to.
Yep.
Yeah, and I like to think about it as your brand is taking that customer down the path or along their journey. So you're meeting them on that path where they are, whether that's through social or through paid or on your website or in the community. You're there and when they're ready to do business with you or when they need help or when they are looking for that information. So
Absolutely.
Multifaceted strategy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Abby, share a little bit about small businesses because we've talked a lot about the financial industry and it's very different for small businesses. So what are some easy wins for small businesses?
It is, but I think there are definitely similarities, of course, that we know. So when we think on the local front, local community, all of those things, I really think that's a huge place for people right now, especially with small businesses, right? So people want to have that connection. They want to feel like they're supporting someone in their community, whether it's the businesses or again, nonprofits, anything like that. We love to be a part of our community. So things with local search optimization is huge, which I know, we do that with Centris as well, making sure if somebody's looking for you, they can find you. If somebody's not looking for you, they can still find you.
Absolutely.
So it's making sure that information's clean, it's consistent, that it's available to people. So when they're looking for credit unions near me, coffee near me, pizza near me, any of those things, I think I'm just hungry and need coffee. But when we're looking for those things, we want to make sure that people can find you. So I think that's probably one of the easiest pieces I think that people can do is cleaning up that Google My Business, or I guess it's Google Business profile and, your Yelp, Bing, those different things. But again, as we were kind of talking about with your relationship with Hurrdat, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of moving pieces that sometimes you may need a little bit of help with.
Absolutely.
So, we're definitely here to help with those things. But on other fronts, social, just like for Centris, how that's been huge for you guys, making that local community connection and just being relatable. I think that's a big piece too.
Absolutely. That was huge for us, the local search engine optimization. We have 15 branches. So how do you kind of differentiate those? They each have their own, while they carry the Centris brand, they have their own personality. And each branch manager, we tell them, this is your branch and how do you kind of have your own brand? But making sure that we can kind of show that on social a little bit differently and then, denote where they're located, things like that. It's been incredibly helpful.
Yeah, they go hand in hand because on local too, I mean, maybe you're used to going to one specific branch and then you're actually in a different area of town or you're running an errand and you're like, hey, where's the nearest one to me?
Right.
And so that's where local can really help supplement that. And for hours too. That's the other thing for me. I'm like, can I go through a drive-through? Do I need to go in?
Right.
Is this an ATM? What can I do at a specific location? And I feel like local is giving you that quick snapshot of like, hey, are they open? Are they close? And do they have what I need?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that you brought that connection back though when you mentioned Facebook though too, like on socials, having that opportunity to kind of show the personality of the branches there. I think that's one of the biggest things that has changed over the last couple of years that, well, maybe 3-4 years maybe, that I've been surprised by is how much these social channels have become search engines though. Yes. How many people are searching for local businesses based on socials. Mm-hmm. So ensuring that your information's correct and consistent there too, and you're really showcasing it there. I know that there are some businesses that maybe have 1, 2, 3 locations that are like, one Facebook page, it's fine, no big deal. Well, it is. Mm-hmm. That's where people, again, they're looking for the different personalities of each of those locations and the different offerings. And so making sure you've got it correct there too.
And again, there's a lot, as we've talked through, there's a lot to building out a comprehensive digital marketing plan. Mm-hmm. And so our team's helpful to help you prioritize what to start on, because that may seem daunting to do 3 Facebook pages when you're like, hey, I want just one brand page, but there's benefits. And then there's also the cost of the time and energy to manage that. So our team's here to help prioritize that. And as you mentioned, like these easy wins are starting with your website. Mm-hmm. Really, I think for many small businesses, and it sounds like for Centris, that was a starting point. Absolutely. And then growing into these other areas of digital marketing and implementing those tactics where you felt like would meet your members.
Absolutely. I think it's so easy as marketers to want to take on everything. And I think we had to remind ourselves over and over last year, just take it slow. We have to do baby steps. Mm-hmm. We have to just get the marketing tactics in place that we think will work. We will adjust those. Yeah. Now we're kind of moving into, okay, we've got these set. What does the data look like? How do we extract that data, and what does it mean? And now it's taking that back to our data team, marrying that up. Mm-hmm. It's like I said, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. And that for us as a small team, having that extra support from Hurrdat has been amazing, and it's needed because we're not the experts. It makes it feel like it's just an extension of our team. This is our digital team, and that's how we roll every single day. And I would just recommend that to anyone that is not sure where to start. Take it small, take it easy. Just look at what you know and then go from there, because it will grow, and then all of a sudden you'll feel very confident in what you're doing, and you'll see the changes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Chantel. Obviously, you mentioned Centris has a podcast, so we'll link it in our notes here.
It is such a fun podcast. Seriously, I know we've talked kind of this whole time through like, financials, like making it educational and fun and like all of these things, but you and Liz are just, I feel like an old lady. You guys are a hoot. You are so fun to listen to. I just love it. And you definitely learn things. The last one I just listened to was the fraud protection stuff. Yeah. And it really made me stop and go, oh gosh, wow.
I know.
Wow, you're right. I didn't really think about it that way.
It's so funny when we were, putting the show together, we're just kind of looking through the questions and listening and making sure the day goes. And then when I listen to it again, I'm like, wow, this is some great information. And we really are learning right along with our listeners. And so I'm glad that it is something that you find beneficial. I hope others do too. And we'll just continue to do it until they tell us, hey, you know what, maybe you should stop, but you never know.
Well, that is what's great about a podcast, is you can always go back and listen at your convenience or when it works for you. So again, that's why it's working for Centris.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Chantel. Thank you, Abby.
Of course. Thank you.
And be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to our socials. As we mentioned, you can get more information about Hurrdat and about our team. Thanks.
I've Heard That is a part of the Hurrdat Media Network. For more information, follow Hurrdat on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Instagram, or visit hurrdatmarketing.com.
A Hurrdat Media Production.